when Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed they were, they could not stand. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell all Pharaoh, let my people go.
Over 3,000 years ago, the Jewish people lived in the land of Egypt. For a long time they were happy until a new king Pharaoh came to the throne. This Pharaoh did not remember all the good things they had done in Egypt, and he said,
"These Jewish people are very strong. There are too many of them. They could overthrow my kingdom someday. From now on, these Israelites will be my slaves. They will build my cities and my monuments. They will work in the fields. Yes, they will do all the hard work in Egypt."
So the Jewish people became slaves. Do you think it was fun to be a slave? No, it wasn't. They had to work from morning until night without any rest under the hot Egyptian sun. Do you think they were allowed to sit down? No, the slave master said, "Get up, you lazy people! Work! Work! Work!" Even if they wanted to get a drink of water, they were not allowed to. Now let's pretend that we're slaves. Get your hammers ready. Bang, 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 hold your hammers low. Bang, 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 hit a heavy blow. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. Now get ready to dig. Dig, 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 dig your shovel deep. Dig, 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 there's no time for sleep. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. The Jewish slaves were so tired, but still Pharaoh was not satisfied.
I have another idea. From now on, every baby boy who is born to the Jewish people will be taken away by my soldiers. My word is law.
All of the Jewish people were very sad and scared. They tried to hide their baby boys from Pharaoh's soldiers, but many times the children were taken away. In a little house near the palace of King Pharaoh, there lived a Jewish family. They were very worried because Yocheved, the mother, had just given birth to a baby boy. Listen now as she speaks to her family.
Amram, my husband, Miriam and Aaron, my dear children, come, we must talk. Look at our new little boy. All the neighbors say he is the most beautiful baby they've ever seen. See? His face seems to shine like the sun, even in this darkness. But my family, I feel we are in great danger. How can we hide our darling baby from Pharaoh's soldiers?
Mother, I have an idea. Let's hide our baby in the tall reeds that grow in the Nile River. You can make a special basket for him that's so tight the water won't get in.
Oh, my daughter, you've thought of a good idea. Oh, we'll work on the basket together. God will surely protect our precious little boy if we hide him in the river. Come, my dear, let us begin.
All day long, Miriam and Yocheved worked on the basket. They made it so well that it was just like a little boat. Not a drop of water could get into it. Then they lined it with the softest cotton and made a pillow and blanket as well.
The basket is almost finished, and this top is perfect. It will keep the hot sun out of his eyes. Let's take him down to the river tonight. We can't afford to wait any longer.
You are right, my daughter. We must hide the baby tonight.
That evening they carried the baby in the basket to the river and placed it gently in the water among the tall reeds.
Now I think our child will be safe here from the soldiers. Miriam, watch him from behind the bushes, and I know God will help us.
Mother and Father, have no fear. I will hide in the bushes here by the river and watch over him as you told me.
You are a brave and wise daughter, my Miriam. We will be waiting for word from you.
All night long, the baby slept peacefully in his comfortable basket. The waters rocked him. Even the frogs croaked gently. In the early morning, the birds began to sing. And all that time, Miriam watched while hiding patiently behind the bushes. As the sun began to rise, the baby still went on sleeping, and it seemed that the water, the birds, even the gentle winds were singing him a lullaby.
שתה תיבה קטנה, עליה יאור הזך, ובתיבה משה הקטן, ילד יפה ברח. ובתיבה משה הקטן, ילד יפה ברח.
As the sun grew hotter, the baby began to cry, and Miriam heard someone coming. Could it be the soldiers? But no, it wasn't soldiers. It was the Egyptian princess, daughter of King Pharaoh himself, coming to swim in the river. The princess had just put her foot in the water when suddenly she stopped.
My servants, did you hear anything? I'm sure I do hear a sound. But wait, I see a basket in the water. I think the sound coming from there. Let me see if I can reach. Handmaiden, come here. Help me. Now the wind is blowing it to me. I can reach it. Here it is. I will open up the tap. But oh, my, it is a child, a boy. He must be a Hebrew baby whose parents are hiding him. I cannot let anyone harm him. What a pity that will be. I wonder what I should do.
Just then, Miriam stepped out from behind the bushes and came running towards the princess.
Your Highness, I know where there is a Jewish nurse who can take care of the child. Would you like me to fetch her?
Yes, yes. Have her come immediately.
So Miriam ran home to Yocheved and told her the wonderful news.
Mother, God has answered our prayers.
Our baby is safe?
He has been found by the Egyptian princess.
Thank God.
She has asked for a Hebrew nurse. Come quickly, Mother.
I'm coming.
Joyfully, Yocheved went running to the princess.
My good woman, take this child home and nurse him. I will pay you well for your services, and I will see that he is protected. Then, when he is old enough, bring him to me at the palace. He will be my son. I will call him Moses, which means I took him out of the water.
So when Moses was old enough, he was taken to live in Pharaoh's palace. But he never forgot that he was Jewish, even while he was being brought up as a prince of Egypt. Years later, Moses was a grown man. When he walked out of the palace one day, he saw a terrible sight. An Egyptian slave master was hitting a tired slave. Quickly, Moses ran to the aid of the slave.
Stop hitting this man. Can't you see that he is tired and sick? How could you treat another human being in this way?
But the slave master turned upon Moses. You are interfering with Pharaoh's orders. Stand back, or I will hit you, too. And he came striding toward Moses. But Moses was quick. He knocked down the slave master. After that incident, Moses realized he was in trouble.
I must now leave Egypt, for if King Pharaoh hears that I knocked down one of his slave masters, he will certainly throw me in prison.
So Moses left Egypt and journeyed to the land of Midian. There he became a shepherd. Do you know what kind of animals shepherds take care of? That's right, sheep.
ויצאו ממנו מים, במטה קל סלע, ויצאו ממנו מים, במטה קל סלע, ויצאו ממנו מים, הפלא והפלא, הפלא והפלא, הפלא והפלא, הפלא.
One day, Moses looked up at the side of a steep mountain and saw a little lamb caught there in the rocks. From far off, Moses could hear its helpless crying. He realized the lamb could not get down by itself. The weather was changing. A storm was approaching. Would Moses climb up that steep mountain in a storm to save a little lamb? Moses thought of the baby lamb all by itself, scared and shivering, and he decided that in spite of the storm, he would save it. As he climbed up the steep mountainside, the wind whipped his face, and the blowing sand stung his skin. But finally, he reached the lamb and picked it up in his arms.
Fear no more, little lamb. I've come to carry you home again where you'll be safe.
So Moses climbed back down the mountain and gave the lamb to its mother. But as he came toward the rest of the flock, he saw a strange sight.
What is this? I can't believe my eyes. I must stop and see this strange thing. That bush is burning. The fire and flames are growing brighter and brighter, yet the bush isn't being consumed by the flames. It's not burning up. How could this be? Now I hear someone calling me. A voice from out of the burning bush.
Moses! Moses!
Here I am.
Do not come closer, Moses. Remove your shoes, for the ground on which you stand is holy ground. I am the God of your fathers and your mothers, the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah.
Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look.
Moses, I have seen the wrongs that my people, the Jewish people, are suffering in the land of Egypt. I have heard the cry of my people. I have come to set them free from the bonds of slavery and to bring them to the promised land, the land of milk and honey. Moses, just as you have saved this little lamb from danger and brought him to safety, I want you to go back to Egypt and lead my people out of slavery to their home in the promised land. Moses, you must go now and speak to Pharaoh.
But my Lord God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh? And what should I say to him? I'm only a simple shepherd.
I will be with you, Moses. Go to Pharaoh and tell him the Lord God says, "Let my people go."
Oh, please, Lord, choose some other man for this task. I am not good enough. How can I even speak to Pharaoh? I do not talk well. He will not listen to me.
Moses, I have said that I will be with you, so have no fear. I will send your brother Aaron. He will meet you and go with you to speak with Pharaoh.
The very next morning, Moses left the land of Midian with his wife and family, to journey back to Egypt. On the way, he met his brother Aaron, as God had promised.
שעמדה והיא שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו והיא שעמדה והיא שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, אלא שבכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו, אלא שבכל דור ודור עומדים עלינו לכלותנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם.
Moses and Aaron went to speak to Pharaoh soon after they arrived in Egypt.
What do you want with me? Troublemakers, that's what you are. You should be building my monuments like the rest of the Jewish slaves.
O Pharaoh, we have come to give you a message from the Lord our God. God has said, let my people go.
Who is this God you are speaking of? I know him not. He is the God of the Jews, not my God. Of course I will not let the people go. I need them to be my slaves. Now get out. Go back to your work. From now on, just because you bothered me, I will make the work of the Jewish slaves even harder. Let it be so.
O Pharaoh, God has said that there will be punishments upon you and upon all of Egypt if you do not let us go.
But Pharaoh's heart was hard, and he would not listen. So 10 punishments came upon him and upon all the people of Egypt. I am going to tell you about some of those punishments. One morning, when Pharaoh woke up in his bed, there were frogs. There were frogs in his bed and frogs on his head, frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs were here, frogs were there, frogs were jumping everywhere. There were frogs all over Pharaoh, on the floor, in the food, and all over the Egyptian people. Even when Pharaoh tried to eat, there was a frog on his plate. Finally, he called Moses and Aaron.
Oh, Moses, tell your God to take away these frogs, and then I will let your people go.
But as soon as the frogs were gone, Pharaoh changed his mind.
No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go.
Oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, please let my people go. They want to go away. They work so hard all day. King Pharaoh, what do you say?
No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go.
So another punishment came upon Egypt. Wild animals were everywhere. Lions and wolves, hyenas and crocodiles chased the Egyptian people. But the Jewish people were not bothered. They were left alone by the animals. Again, Pharaoh called Moses.
Take these wild animals away, and I will let your people go.
So Moses asked God to send the animals away. But when they were gone, Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he changed his mind again.
No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go.
Because Pharaoh changed his mind, more punishments came upon Egypt. One night, an east wind began to blow. In the morning, it brought a huge swarm of buzzing, giant grasshoppers called locusts. They covered the face of the earth so the land could not be seen. And under this blanket of insects, all the green plants disappeared. The locusts ate all the fruit from the trees, the flowers from the gardens, and even the smallest blade of grass, so no green thing was left. Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron in great haste.
Come quickly. I have something to tell you. I have been wrong. Now, please ask your God to take away this terrible plague of locusts. Then I promise I will let your people go.
When Moses prayed to God, a strong west wind came and blew all the locusts away. But Pharaoh's heart was so hard that he refused to remember the promise that he had made. Again he said,
No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go.
After 9 punishments came upon Egypt, the Jewish people were still slaves, held in bondage. How they longed to be free! God saw their suffering, and God spoke to Moses.
Yet one more plague will I bring upon Pharaoh and all the land of Egypt. This will be the worst of all. Pharaoh will order you to take the Jewish people out of Egypt. Tell your people to get ready. Tell them to eat lamb and to mark their doors. They must stay at home and wait for that moment in the middle of the night when I will get them out of Egypt. Tell them that they should never forget this night. Tell them that they should celebrate its memory with their families every year, forever and forever.
And it came to pass at midnight that the angel of death flew over Egypt, touching the houses of all the Egyptian people, from the lowest servant to Pharaoh himself. And as he touched the houses with his dark wings, a great weeping and lamenting rose up in Egypt. But the angel of death did pass over the houses of the Jewish people and did not touch them. In the middle of the night, Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron.
Rise up, get out of Egypt, you and all your people. Take all of your belongings. Get out. Go quickly. Go, go, go!
With Moses leading the way, the Jewish people rushed to leave Egypt. They were in a great hurry, lest Pharaoh change his mind again. Since they didn't have time for the bread to rise, they brought unleavened dough, which later the sun baked into matzahs. And God told them, on every Passover you must eat unleavened bread to remember this Passover night. Even the smallest children woke up in the dark to be carried by their parents out of Egypt. They were led at night by a great pillar of fire, and in the day by a pillar of cloud. They walked, and they walked, and they walked, until they came to the shores of the Red Sea. As they stood there, they heard a terrible sound. Horses were galloping towards them, soldiers were shouting, and they could hear the clashing of spears and swords, the grinding of chariot wheels. Do you know what it was? The Egyptian army coming to get them. Pharaoh had changed his mind again. He was leading his army after the Jews so he could bring them back to Egypt to be slaves. What were they to do? The water was in front of them, and the soldiers rapidly coming up behind them. They were trapped. But Moses spoke in a voice that was heard above the crying and wailing of the people.
Fear not, the Lord is with us.
Then there was silence. Moses lifted up his hand and held it over the Red Sea. A strong wind came cutting across the water, cutting like a knife, and the sea was divided, cut in half. Between those two walls of water, they saw a dry path. Not a drop of water fell from those two walls of ocean.
Follow me, my people. God is with us.
The people followed Moses onto the dry path, and the two walls of water on both sides of them seemed like walls of glass. The fish were staring out at them as if wondering, "What are people doing in the middle of our ocean?" And so they walked on the dry path across the Red Sea. But as the children of Israel came to the other side, they looked back and saw Pharaoh and his army approaching from the other side.
Well, if the Jews can go on this dry path, then so can we. Soon we will have our hands upon them again. Charge!
So the Egyptians drove their horses and chariots onto that dry path. When they were in the middle of the sea, Moses raised his hand over the water, and the strong wind returned. The walls of water clashed together with the sound of 1,000 thunderings. The Egyptian army, with Pharaoh and all his soldiers, chariots, and horses, were swallowed up by those crashing walls of water, and they disappeared forever. When the Jewish people saw that the Egyptians were gone, they finally believed that they were free. They began to sing and dance, but Moses spoke to them.
My people, the Egyptians also were the children of God. Let us not rejoice at their misfortune, but now let us thank God for saving us on this day.
Then Miriam, the sister of Moses, now grown into a beautiful woman, led all of the women in a dance of joy and thankfulness.
עוזי בזמריה ויהי לי לישועה עוזי בזמריה ויהי לי לישועה עזוז וגיבור יא גיבור מלחמה עזוז וגיבור יא גיבור מלחמה עוזי בזמריה ויהי לי לישועה עוזי בזמריה ויהי לי לישועה עזוז וגיבור יא גיבור מלחמה עזוז וגיבור יא גיבור מלחמה.
And so, children, that is the end of the Passover story, but only the beginning of our Exodus story, which tells how the Jewish people walked to the promised land, the land of Israel. And to this day, we have not forgotten how God saved us from slavery and led us out of Egypt. Therefore, every year we celebrate Passover, our festival of freedom.
Eloheinu, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. שניים מי יודע, שניים אני יודע, שני לוחות הברית, אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. שלושה מי יודע, שלושה אני יודע, שלושה אבות, שני לוחות הברית, אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. ארבע מי יודע, ארבע אני יודע, ארבע אמהות, שלושה אבות, שני לוחות הברית, אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. Five, who knows? Five, I know. 5 books of Torah, 4 our mothers, 3 our fathers, 2 silent tablets, 1 alone is our God, 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 in heaven and on the earth.
Money.
הלילה הזה כולו מצה.
Ever since the Jewish people escaped from Egypt so many thousands of years ago, we have celebrated Passover. Now it's the springtime and Passover is here. Children, you are invited to join our family for a Seder dinner. You will meet Daniel, the youngest child, Shira, his older sister, and their mommy and daddy. You will also meet somebody else, a magical Passover friend. Who will he be? That's a mystery. You'll just have to wait and see. Before we begin our Seder, we must get out the special Passover dishes and clean the whole house to make sure not one breadcrumb is left. Passover lasts for 8 whole days, and for all of that time we don't eat leavened bread like challah or bagels, but only flat, unleavened bread. Do you remember what that is called? It's matzah. The foods we don't eat on Passover are called commemorates. Look, here comes Daddy with a candle in one hand and a big long feather in his other hand. What is he going to do?
Come on, everybody, it's time for the commemorates hunt. Do you know what I'm going to do with this candle and this feather? With the candle, I will light the darkest corners. With the feather, I will clean out the smallest crumb.
The whole house is clean. Children, you are invited to come with us now and join our Passover Seder. And here comes Mama.
And look, children, here is a Seder plate. Do you know what is on the Seder plate and why? Let's see if you remember. Why do we have parsley?
Because Pesach comes in the springtime.
Very good. And why egg?
To remind us that we were reborn to freedom on Passover.
And why bone?
In memory of the lamb that the Jewish people ate before they left Egypt.
Very good. And bitter herbs?
To remind us of the bitterness of slavery.
And charoset?
Because it looks just like the mortar that the Jewish people used between the bricks.
Very good, children. Now, let's not forget a beautiful cup for Elijah. Now we'll all sit down together at the Seder table.
All right, everybody, let's open up our Passover book, which we call the Haggadah. Here is the list that tells us everything we will be doing during our Passover dinner. Now we will sing Kadesh Urchatz.
Kadesh Urchatz, Karpas Yachatz, Magid Rachatza, Motzi Matzah, Maror Korech, Shulchan Orech, Tzafun Barech, Halel Nitzah, Kiddush and wash, parsley and afikoman, Pesach story and wash, matzah and bitter herbs, Hillel sandwich and dinner, afikoman and blessing, songs of thanks and happiness, and conclude the Seder.
The Kiddush, the blessing over the wine, is the first thing we do on the list. This is a very special night. You get to drink 4 cups of wine. And now let's say the blessing for the first time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו הזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו הזמן הזה.
Boys and girls, tonight we are sitting at our Seder like kings and queens. We are not slaves anymore, so even the water is brought to us, and we don't get up to wash our hands. We can do it right here at the Seder table. Everybody is washing their hands right now.
Now we take the parsley, which reminds us of spring, and we dip them in the salt water, which tastes like the tears our people cried in slavery. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'adama. Amen. And now we take the afikomen, the middle piece of matzah, and I take it and I break it in half, and when you're all not looking, I'm going to hide the afikomen, and then you will be able to look for it after dinner, and then we'll all eat a little bit of it together.
Children, keep your eye on Daddy. He's waiting for just the right time to hide the afikomen when nobody is watching. When dinner is over, the children will look for it, and the lucky one who finds it will get a prize. All the children want to find it, especially Daniel. Every year he falls asleep before dinner is over, but this year he wants to stay awake through the whole long Seder because, you know, we don't look for the afikomen until the very end of dinner. His older sister, Shira, is whispering to him now.
Daniel, I hope you'll find the afikomen, but you always fall asleep before dinner's over. Don't worry, Daniel. I will try to find the afikomen for you, and if I do, I will share it with you.
After a while, nobody is watching, and Daddy hides the afikomen under his chair. But wait! I hear something strange. You won't believe this, but I think I hear the afikomen singing. Come on, children, let's listen while nobody else is paying attention.
Yes, I am the matzah man, the matzah man, the matzah man. Yes, I am the matzah man. Afikomen is my name. Oh, goody, kids. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Such happiness and joy. Tonight's my special night, when I keep out of sight. I play a little game. Hide and seek is its name. Oh, yes. Now's a special time of year. For afikomen, hiding time is here.
Did you hear that, children? That little matzah, the afikomen, was talking to us. How very strange and unusual. I wonder what he'll do next. But let's listen to what Daddy is about to say.
Now we are going to open the door and say some very important words. Who would like to open it?
Me!
Shira, you do it because you're the oldest child. Now I'm going to say some words, and then I want you all to say it with me. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Together? Let all who are hungry come and eat. You know, children, some people are poor and hungry. We want to share with those who don't have much, so we invite them in on Passover. Let's say the words again together.
Let all who are hungry come and eat.
Daniel, here's what you've been waiting for. It's time to ask the 4 questions, and you're the youngest child, so you can sing them. Are you ready?
I know the Manishtana, and I'll sing it right now. Manishtana halayla ze mikol haleilot, mikol haleilot, shebechol haleilot anu ochlin chametz umatzah, chametz umatzah, halayla ze matzah, halayla ze kulo matzah, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים שערר הכל, שערר הכל, הלילה הזה בכל הלילות אין אנו מדליקים אפילו פעם אחת, אפילו פעם אחת. הלילה הזה, הלילה הזה, שתי פעמים. הלילה הזה, הלילה הזה, שתי פעמים. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בין יושבינו בין מסובים, בין יושבינו בין מסובים. הלילה הזה, הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים. הלילה הזה, הלילה הזה, כולנו מסובים.
Very good, Daniel. Do you know what we are asking? Why is this night different from all other nights? Why do we eat matzah, bitter herbs, dip the greens, and recline on pillows? You will learn the answers when we talk about the Passover story.
Everyone is quite surprised that Daniel did such a good job singing the Manish Tanah. Just listen to them.
Daniel did it.
He's so smart.
We are really proud of him.
They're so busy that they don't notice someone standing up underneath Daddy's chair. Do you know who it is? It's Matzah Man.
I like this kid, Daniel. I like him so much, you see, that I think I'll let him find me. Now, from under this chair I'll peek, and away from this chair I'll sneak, before anyone finds me. Whee! Ouch! Daddy's chair has hard legs. I almost cracked. Here I go. Here I go. When Seder is over, I'll stop being a rover. But until then, I'll hide somewhere inside. Remember me? I'm the Matzah Man. Afikoman is my name. Whee!
Meanwhile, Daddy is starting to talk about the story of Passover. It is so exciting that nobody notices Matzah Man, not even Daniel.
Once we were slaves in Egypt.
עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים, בני חורים. עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים. עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים. עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים, בני חורים. עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים. עבדים היינו, אתה בני חורים.
Do you remember the Passover story?
Yeah.
You do? Good. Let's see if you can answer these questions then. Who made the Jewish people be slaves in Egypt?
King Pharaoh.
Who found baby Moses?
The Egyptian princess.
Name the sister and the brother of Moses.
Miriam and Aaron.
Where did Moses first hear the voice of God?
At the burning bush.
How many punishments came upon Pharaoh and his people?
10 punishments.
What did the Jewish people take to eat when they left Egypt?
Matzahs, unleavened bread.
How did the Jewish people cross the Red Sea?
Between 2 walls of water on a dry path.
Very good, children. You must know the Passover story very well if you can answer these questions. Now we will dip our fingers in the wine and count the 10 plagues, 1 drop for each plague, so we remember the pain of the Egyptians. And as we dip our fingers, we spill the wine on our plates so that we remember to be compassionate. Dam, blood, Svardea, frogs, Kinim, lice, Arov, wild animals, Dever, cattle disease, Shchin, boils, Barad, hail, Arbe, locusts, Choshech, darkness, Makat Bechorot, the firstborn.
By that time, Matzah Man is under the table, and some wine spills on him.
Hey, stop! Oh gosh, oh gee! Don't spill wine on me! Did you hear what I said? I'll get wet! I'll get red! Then I'll stumble, even crumble! Hey kids, this is for the birds! I better say my magic words! Alaka, alaka, alakazir! Matzah, matzah, matzah mir! I will quickly disappear!
Now everyone sing Dayenu.
Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Illu hotzi'anu mimitzrayim, hotzi'anu mimitzrayim, Dayenu.
Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
If God freed us from the Egyptians, if God gave us only the Shabbat, if God gave us only the Torah, Dayenu.
Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Illu natan lanu et haTorah, natan lanu et haTorah, Dayenu.
Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Matzah Man likes Dayenu. He's dancing in the living room.
I've waited so long to hear my favorite song. Dayenu, Dayenu, whee!
But listen, Mother is just saying something to everyone at the Seder table.
Finally, it's time to eat. Is anybody hungry?
Yes!
Wait till you see the delicious dinner we have prepared. Daniel, are you awake? I know Seder is long, but try not to fall asleep. Be careful, Shira, don't spill your wine. We are about to drink the second cup of wine. Let's all say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Now we say the blessings over the matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat matzah. Amen. Praised art thou, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with mitzvot and commanded us concerning the eating of matzah.
Matzah Man's ears have perked up when he hears these blessings, and he runs back to the table. He is so excited.
Hey, kids, I'm as proud as can be. Did you hear? Did you see? They said a blessing over me. I'm a matzah, you know. As Afikoman, I'm the star of the show.
Matzah Man is peeking out from under the table, but still nobody notices him. Shh! Listen, Daddy's going to say the blessing over the maror, the bitter herbs.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat maror. Amen. Now, children, we take the two matzahs and we make what we call the Hillel sandwich. You take two matzahs and put between it some charoset and some maror, and then you get to eat it.
Oh boy, haroset! I want to taste it. Don't drop it. Don't waste it. Wait for me. Whee! Haroset is a lot of fun with apples and nuts and wine. When we were slaves, it was mortar for the bricks. But now we're free, and we can have a good time. Haroset is delicious. Haroset is nutritious. I'll take a little bite, but still keep out of sight. Oh, help! Help! Daddy just put me in his Hillel sandwich. Oh, boo-hoo! What should I do if Daddy eats me up? Daniel will never find me after supper. Hey, kids, I'll say the magic words. Alaka, alaka, alakazir, matzah, matzah, matzamir. I'll quickly disappear. Whew, that was a close call. I think I'll be more careful after all.
This Hillel sandwich seems to have fallen apart. Let's make another one. Now everybody take your matzah, put harotzet inside, also some maror, then put another matzah on top, and hold on tight to take a bite. These matzahs seem to be slippery tonight. Everybody eat your sandwich, just like our great Rabbi Hillel did so long ago.
But children, let's see where Matzah Man is going now. What a determined look he has on his face.
I better hide, not stay outside. If I don't go right now, who knows quite how I'll stay out of danger. So I better not linger. I know what I'll do. I'll get under a plate. And it's Daniel's, that's who. I won't be late. I'll get under that plate so Daniel can find me. How happy he'll be. Nobody's looking, so now's my chance. Under Daniel's plate I'll dance. Here I go.
So Matzah Man slides under Daniel's plate while everybody is eating the delicious Passover dinner.
Great chicken, Mom.
I like the fish.
I like the matzo balls.
What a good dinner. I could eat forever.
The evening is getting longer and longer, and uh-oh, Daniel's eyes are drooping. It looks like he might fall asleep. Let's all try to wake him up. Wake up, Daniel, wake up!
Daniel, wake up.
That's right. Come on, all you children at home, help me. Wake up, Daniel! Wake up! It's almost time to find the Afikomen. Wait, I think it is time, right now. Mama's saying something. Let's listen.
Children, dinner is over, and now it's time to find the Afikomen. Daniel, are you awake?
All the children jump up to look for the Afikomen. All except Daniel, that is. He is just too tired. Poor Daniel, will he be disappointed again this year? There's Daddy with a secret smile on his face, reaching under his chair.
I know I hid the Afikomen under my chair, but now it isn't there. This is very strange indeed.
Still, everybody is looking, but not finding. Tears are coming down Daniel's cheeks.
I'll never find it. I guess I really am too young. Maybe next year when I'm older. But that's so long to wait. Hey, I hear somebody talking to me. Who could it be? It sounds like a little voice coming from under my plate.
Daniel, look under your plate. Come on. We have a little date. Hurry up, Daniel. I really can't wait. Please do it. Lift your plate.
Hey, everybody, look at me. I found the Afikomen.
Oh, yes, I am the matzah man, the matzah man, the matzah man. Yes, I am the matzah man. Afikomen is my name. Happy Pesach, everyone.
Mazel tov, Daniel. Hooray for Daniel. Everybody shout hooray for Daniel.
Hooray!
Daniel found the Afikomen, even though he is the youngest one. It's a mystery to me, but I'm glad. Of course, special things should happen on Passover night. Now Daniel gets the prize. A bag of chocolate candies from Israel. Daniel, share the Afikomen with everybody.
Do you know what? Daniel was so generous that he shared his chocolates with all the children. Everybody says, Daniel is a really big boy now, and he found the Afikomen. Of course, Daniel is very proud and happy.
I'll always remember this Passover.
Now, children, let's sing our song to Eliyahu. We'll open the door and ask Eliyahu to come in. Since Daniel found the Afikomen, Shira can open the door. Let us hope Eliyahu will come to see us, to bring us peace, and to drink wine from his beautiful cup. Watch carefully, kids. Watch how the wine is disappearing from his cup. That means Eliyahu is here.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera beyamenu, Yavo eleinu, Im Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
After dinner, the whole family drinks the last glass of wine, and then they sing beautiful Pesach songs together. Come on, you can join in the fun. Here's our first song, Adir Hu.
Adir Hu, yivne beito bekarov, bimehera, veyabeinu bekarov, el benei betcha bekarov.
Mighty, may he build his temple speedily, in our lifetime may it be. Oh Lord, build thy temple speedily. Chagadia, my father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia. Then came the cat and ate the kid. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia. Then came the dog and beat the cat that ate the kid. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia. Then came the stick and chased the dog that beat the cat that ate the kid. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia. Then came the fire and burned the stick that chased the dog that beat the cat that ate the kid. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia. Then came the water and quenched the fire that burned the stick that chased the dog that beat the cat that ate the kid. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Chagadia.
So, children, this is the end of our Pesach tape. I hope you'll have fun singing all the songs at your Seder. Shalom and happy Passover. We'll meet you again on Yom Ha'atzmaut. Now let's all sing the last song, Next Year in Jerusalem.
בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים הבנויה לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים הבנויה לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, בירושלים לשנה הבאה, ירושלים הבנויה. היי!